I was reading a book called Why Architects Still Draw. At that same night, I was having a daily FaceTime with my mom. She found so many sketchbooks that recorded my freehand sketches back from my days in high school, or even earlier than that. I can still feel the warmth of those sketches, and those faded away memories came upon me. Thinking by hand was the first sentence I read in that book. People nowadays are so afraid that technologies will eventually replace them. However, when I took a deep look at my sketches, I realized that these digital technologies would only improve as a tool to assist humans rather than replacing them and causing job loss. I'm Xu from China. I'm an international student and a junior in School of Visual Arts, Interior Design, Built Environments. As a designer, I believe pens and markers are the purest representational technique to articulate our creativity. When I talk about my design, it is inseparable from my identity. My roots are scattered all over the place. Growing up and spending my childhood in China until the age of 14, I came to the US alone and started my high school life. 4 years later, I moved to New York after I got into SVA. New York City is such a magical place where people from all over the world with different backgrounds, race, and identity shape this vibrant and dynamic city that is full of cultures. Walking is my window of inspiration. Design doesn't happen when you just sit at home and grab a pen. It happens when you walk past a building, when you caught a glance of a street sign. As I walk more steps on the street, I notice from details to details, magnifying feelings and merging stories. Certainly, I source inspiration from the external world, but once I have internalized it, I put it into a piece of paper. Verbal expression is limited, and that is why I'm intrigued by visuals and music because it conveys the indescribable. I love to observe forms under different shapes. Whenever I go to Asian restaurants, I like to fold my chopstick envelopes and then fold them into various forms under my subconscious instincts. These folded chopsticks envelopes always gives me inspiration of forms. Thinking outside of the box is when the stories are going to be much more genuine, impactful, and bonding. Sometimes embracing imperfection actually guides you to an unexpected better way. I've been noticing the missing O of Hotel Empire. That missing O also applies to myself. When I go to an opera, I sometimes feel stupid for myself because of lacking the ability to understand multiple languages. However, this is how I get to side B. I realize the rhythm itself becomes powerful enough besides the understanding of language. Each artist has their own way to deliver their message to the audience. I grow better outside the spotlight, like it's watching a candle burn rather than burning in fire. Rather than burning under the spotlight and not getting applause from the audience, I tend to express myself through my work. A good design is like an invisible language that renders layers of emotions, meanings, and ideas. The space we've designed itself becomes the most powerful message that we wanted the audience to listen to. I believe my work develop and represent my personality, and also articulate those unique thoughts behind my mind. As a designer, I always ask myself, how can I connect my own identity to other cultures? How can Meixi, a multicultural background designer, spark more design ideas? I was designing for a well-known Harlem icon restaurant brand, the Red Rooster for chefs and owner Marcus Samuelson. I visited Harlem many times before I started my design and had lunch in local restaurants. I love to sketch my ideas through the early phases of my design. The client is interested in a very strong cultural aesthetic throughout the space and is seeking an event space for performing and showcasing art, lectures, dance, music, hosting small local craft artists or exhibitions as part of the dining experience. So my project investigates the significance of cultural aesthetics in the creation of an interior in the community of Harlem in Upper Manhattan in New York City. Food is the part of racial sentiment. Red Rooster Mark 121 uses its distinct style of food and art, connecting people with its invented tradition and unify the diverse and numerous communities. I believe the goal of my design is to be affordable, educational. The tree branches that stretches from the middle of the ceiling represents the life tree under the sun. There's a Chinese idiom called 四海为家, means the world is your home, and this is what my design always aiming for. The design becomes a shelter for people, and people are connected with each other like a family bond tree. This is also the main reason I'm interested in Gensler. I found so many shared practices and ideas between my design and Gensler, and it will be my honor to have the opportunity for practicing and growing potentials in the Gensler family.
Hi everyone, I'm Meixi Xu, and I'm currently a junior in School of Visual Arts, Interior Design, Built Environments.